It's been more than a month since John Carter pleaded guilty to killing his once fiancee, Katelyn Markham. This is a case that went unresolved for a long time, more than a decade after she disappeared from her Fairfield home in 2011. Her remains were found in Indiana a couple of years later in 2013, and it wasn't until just last year that Carter was charged with her murder.
So earlier this year, Carter pleaded down to an involuntary manslaughter charge and was sentenced to just 3 years in prison. Just this afternoon, the Butler County Prosecutor's office is opening up the case file, and they've released a massive amount of records all related to the case.
Ken Brown's live in Hamilton for us, where he has been sorting through all of those records.
Yeah, and he has the never-before-seen interviews of Carter talking with detectives after Markham's initial disappearance. Ken.
Yeah, and we do want to stress this is just a small fraction of the case file that was released in John Carter's case. And we're getting to look and listen at these interviews with police that happened in the days and years that followed Katelyn Markham's disappearance and death that we now know happened at John Carter's hand. Katelyn Markham's 2011 disappearance, her then fiancé John Carter was immediately a person of interest for police because he was the last one to see Katelyn and the one to report her missing. This is a recording from 2011 where detectives ask Carter to take a lie detector test.
Is that something that you're willing to do for me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We're gonna do this now, or?
We're gonna do it now.
Okay.
Is that something that's okay?
Yeah, I mean, I know I didn't do anything, so I should be good.
Carter was brought in by detectives again in 2012, and the next time a recorded interview shows up in his case file was 2013, when Indiana State Police came in to question Carter after finding Katelyn Markham's remains at a dump site. Investigators asked him about the moments and days that followed his initial report of Katelyn's disappearance.
You were here for, say, 4 hours?
I'm blank on that. Like,
Okay.
for real, I lost myself. When everything was so real, when the cops walked up and they went into her house and started searching everything, I could not remember anything.
40 minutes into his interview with Indiana State Police, they ask him about the discovery of Katelyn's remains.
You heard that her body was found.
Yeah.
What was going through your mind then?
I didn't want to cry in front of the ironically, in front of the police officers, so I tried to keep myself, but I was with my mom when they told me, so I confided in my mom more than anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to her, and I fell apart again.
After his guilty plea, we now know that Carter knew where Katelyn's remains were, and detectives asked him about visiting the Indiana location.
Have you been over to where she was found?
No, I don't want to go there. I didn't want to even acknowledge the day she went missing this year because I don't want to remember her for that. I don't want to go to that place and be like, oh, this is where she died. That's wonderful. Like, why would I want to see that?
Again, that's just a small portion of what was released. That last clip was about 20 seconds from a 2-hour sit-down interview, one of 7 sit-down interviews that were recorded and are part of this case file that we're still going through now. John Carter, about a month ago, pleaded guilty to involuntary manslaughter in this case, and as we mentioned, he was sentenced to 3 years in prison. Reporting live in Hamilton, Ken Brown, Fox 19 Now.